Sorry to bother you. I haven't quite got the hang of this little thing yet. Can you come down to the clinic when you have time? Have some personal things. No problem. But yeah, I'm doing alright. I slept decent. I had a protein bar. Okay, time for the sad backstory. Yes. Accepted mission, Blizzard immunity. Teleport. See, the cool thing about, you know, focusing on a sad story is that then I can trim down the VOD if I want a smaller video up on YouTube. As long as I don't get distracted and go do other things first. And we'll run around as Clara because adorable. And how are you doing today, Shakabi? Have you had a good day? Hope your exploration... Nat, do you have something to ask? I forgot my PNG again? Oh no. Okay, thank you.
I have a favor to ask. Something rather personal.
Thank you, Shakabi. I've been banging my head against getting my alerts up with stream elements, and I've followed along with several videos, and it's just not working. Personal favor. Of course, Nat.
I want to thank you again for recovering the wonder medicine. It meant a lot to me. But disposing of Vash's reagents isn't enough to solve the medical supply shortage. Many of my patients can't be seen promptly, and my stock of medicine is running low.
This is a follow-up quest to a different one she gave us. Vash is her brother. Or theoretically was her brother. I'm not entirely convinced that he's as dead as the last quest said he probably should be.
Thanks to you, the route to the overworld through the furnace core has reopened. I'd like to use it to return to the surface and see if I can get some help. I knew you'd be interested.
Of course I'm interested.
Remember my adoptive parents I mentioned to you a while ago? After the reopening of the furnace core passage, I had an idea. I wrote a letter and asked Sampo to deliver it to my parents' old address.
So Natasha was adopted by this family in the overworld, I think. Or maybe outside of Bellabog. And they had their own child. And a son. And she considered him, you know, really loved him, considered him a good brother. And he seemed like a good brother. Until he went off to college. Became a doctor. Then he got sort of obsessed with his research. And decided that experimenting on living people was an excellent idea.
I didn't have high hopes, but amazingly, Sampo brought me my mother's reply. That's exactly what I thought when I got her letter. Mom said they still live at the old house, but they're not working on the front lines anymore. They should still have some connections in the medical school and the hospital, though. If I'm lucky, maybe I can convince them to send extra medical supplies to the underworld. Of course, that's not the only reason for me to go back to the surface. I can't wait to visit my parents again, and I can tell from my mom's letter that they feel the same. If possible, I would like you to go with me. Wonderful. That's such a relief. I've sent another letter to my mom telling her to find us near Fountain Plaza. Don't worry, I know my way around the administrative district.
Who knows, maybe this quest will actually end up not being tragic. Slices of life before the furnace, Blizzard immunity. Now, since it's still called Blizzard immunity, and that's the thing her brother was obsessed with, I'm not entirely sure it's going to go well. So he was obsessed with the idea of using medicine to...
We'll be safe here.
Laura, shush. To make people immune to the cold so they could go back out living in the snowfields and have an easier time resisting the encroaching snow and ice and stuff.
This place doesn't seem to have changed much from what I remember.
And didn't really care all that much. Yeah, it is an interesting idea, and if it worked, that'd have been great. But the side effects of some of the medicine, he didn't have anyone to test his medicine out on. And like no one up in the overworld was like, yeah, no, it's a nice idea, but we're not really going to volunteer for that. And then Natasha's like, hey, maybe you just need a break from what you're doing, a change of scenery. Come down to the underworld. Help me take care of all the people here who can't afford health care. Maybe you'll gain a different perspective. So he comes down, and instead of going, people who need my help, he's like, people who are desperate and might be okay with experimental medicine. And if they're not, well, I just won't tell them.
No, there you are. Sorry, I got distracted watching the crowds. Look at the busy flow of people. Life in the overworld carries on as usual, as if nothing has happened. We're a little early. I've got an idea. I want to buy my mom a gift. You're more of an overworld local than I am now. Any suggestions?
A book. Ooh, or flowers. Or a play. I mean, these are all... This one's Go Talk to Serval, but these two are pretty classic ideas.
Flowers, huh? That's a great idea. I've been underground for so long, I almost forgot what flowers smell like.
Oh.
Flowers it is, then. Can you lead the way?
Probably. Let's see. Go check that real quick. Okay. Now are you back to being... See, I thought I had the settings down enough that if there was issues that wouldn't be too laggy. Yeah, it seems to be fixed. Technical difficulties.
Ever Summer? Was that always the name? Seems I was too young to get the irony back then. Sorry. I don't mean to sound cynical. Maybe it simply represents the people's hopes up here.
Hopes is good.
Now that I think about it, sending flowers is quite the tradition in my family. Mom, Dad, Vash, and I, whenever something good happened, we sent each other flowers to celebrate.
I kind of wish her brother was called something else, because whenever I hear the name, I'm thinking of Trigun instead.
Do you want to hear a flower story?
Of course I do.
Each year for their anniversary, my dad would send my mom a bouquet of ball peonies wrapped in red paper. I heard that ball peonies represent love that knows no end.
Oh,
Their marriage.
it's adorable. The more adorable a quest is, the more I think it's going to end up tragic.
My father is a famous surgeon in Belobog. Because of his fame, people in medical circles paid great attention to his surgeries. He always had a lot of stress to deal with. And each time he finished a tricky operation, my mom and I would buy a single stem of sunshine and then pin it on the chest pocket of his apron.
It will be in just a few more dialogues. Yeah, probably.
Sunshines represent warmth and love of light. For patients on the verge of death, my dad might have been the only light to penetrate the darkness around them.
If not out of this particular part of the quest, then when I actually go talk to the parents.
Vash. Out Out of everyone in my family, I think he probably appreciated flowers the least. Still, I remember the day he received his offer from the medical academy. My parents took me to the florist and we bought him the most expensive marquee stem in the shop. When we gave him the flower, he failed to hide his smile. You can't imagine how hard it was to get him to smile. As an orphan, I never knew my birthday. My adoptive parents took me to the overworld and made the day I joined the family my birthday.
Probably would too.
Each year on that day, my parents would give me a bouquet of first snow. The number of stems represented how many years had passed since I joined the family.
No, too cute.
I only found out later that first snow represents beautiful memories. My parents gave me a beautiful childhood, and I still haven't had the chance to thank them for that.
I see. Shall we go to the florist?
Mom will like this.
Nice to see you again. Best at your service. If you need help picking the right flower, feel free to let me know. What flower should I pick for Nat? What happened to her parents? I don't know what happened to her biological parents, but she got adopted. Let's see. Should I get her mom's favorite, her dad's favorite, or the memory ones? You know, by leaving her biological parents a mystery, they get to add more tragic story later. But being an orphan from the underworld, I think, is why she ran the orphanage in the underworld when she went back.
Oh, first snow, is it? 1 second. I'll get it ready for you.
I want an option where I can just buy all the flowers and make a bouquet out of them.
There you go. Sorry for the wait. Hope to see you again soon.
Hopefully that was the right choice.
May I have a look? First snow. Thank you. It reminds me of carefree childhood days. Ah, those times were pure and innocent, just like these petals. I knew you'd pick the right flowers. Mom and Dad will be so happy. Let's go. My mom will be there soon. Best not to leave old folks waiting.
I still have no idea how old Natasha is supposed to be. Yum 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 yum. Clara runs so well without her shoesies on.
Come around and have a look.
Oh no, properly old parents.
Mom!
Nat? Nat, is that you? Oh, come here, my darling.
Oh, we'll meet the mom of Anime Mom. I mean, at least her hair isn't quite Anime Mom style.
It's been too long, Mom. Too long.
Oh, but we also have no idea whether or not her parents know what happened to her brother.
Sorry. I don't usually get this emotional. How have you been, Mr. Oswell? Thank you so much for taking care of my parents these last 10 years.
I'm doing fine, Miss Natasha, just fine. Look at you. You've blossomed into a fine young woman. Such a pity that your father...
Dad, I was wondering where he is. Is he...
It was 3 years ago, Nat. No need to be sad. He passed away very peacefully.
Oh. Poor Nat.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. For 10 years, I left you both in the overworld. Mr. Oswell, I'm sorry you had to bear all this weight.
Like it was her fault. She was trapped down there.
Don't be, my dear. It is my honor to look after your parents.
It's not your fault that they sealed off the passage between the surface and the underground. Don't be so harsh on yourself, daughter.
Aw. Such a good mom.
Oh, Mom. I have so much to say to you. But, there's an urgent matter that needs your help. I apologize. I wish this were a happier reunion. But there are too many suffering with sickness in the underworld. You're the only person I can go to for help.
Oh, there's no need to apologize, my child. I've heard of your deeds down there, and I know you've saved many lives. Your father? He would be proud of you.
Aw.
We have many connections in the medical academy. No matter what you need, be it medicine or data, I should be able to get it for you.
Are we going to get to visit where he's buried or a memorial?
Be the doctor you always were, Nat. We have all the time in the world to catch up later.
I am just... This is sad, but I am also still happy that she didn't lose both her parents. Her brother, when they caught onto his experiments, I don't remember if it was her and Japard or just her and the other underworlders, but they basically, you know, some people wanted her to execute them, but they settled on exile. So they basically escorted him out of the city and said, "Don't come back." Left him out into the ice in the wilds. And I think he just went like, well, gotta test my medicine now on myself. Hello, Tyrion. How you doing today?
She's always been there for me. With her help, we'll be able to ease the underworld's medical supply shortage. That's good news for patients who'd lost hope.
So far, my day's been going pretty well. Just, doing side quests to wreck myself emotionally, because why not?
I really wish I could spend the whole day talking to her about the old days. But sadly, now is not the time.
Did you have Snickies for breakfast? I did. I ate a protein bar, and I'm sipping on my energy drink. Which has, only 10 calories, but tastes like candy, so I have to be careful with it. Did you have good dinners?
Let's head back to the underworld. We need to spread the good news.
The brand is called Ghost. It's Warheads, sour green apple flavored.
Miss Natasha, one moment, please.
Okay, Miss Natasha. I heard that as Mr. Tasha. A bear claw and coffee for dinner.
Mr. Oswell, I thought you headed back home with Mom. How come?
I would totally have that myself.
I apologize, Miss Natasha.
Especially if it was apple flavored.
In fact, there's something I have to tell you in person.
Something that Mom isn't supposed to know?
You haven't changed a bit. Smart and sensitive. The fact of the matter is, in the first 2 years after the passage was closed off, I received many letters from Master Vash.
How?
What? Letters from Vash? Are you certain?
Was only able to open my PC in the evening because there's a typhoon that will make landfall on Saturday. Oh no! We always go on alert in case power goes out. Please do your best to stay safe.
Of course, miss. I recognized his handwriting. You'll see what I mean when you read the letters yourself.
This was the first time I heard bear clawed donut. It sounds very delicious.
Actually,
It is very tasty.
those letters were intended for your eyes only. The delivery address was the underworld, but because of the sealing off of the passageway, the letters were sent back to your old house, to me.
I don't understand. Did you not show them to my parents?
I'm sorry, miss. I opened one of them out of curiosity. Master Vash stressed in the letter that your parents must not know what happened to him.
It was your first time tasting the bear claw donut. They're pretty good. Vash protecting Natasha?
That's why I put the letters in a secure place, waiting to hand them to you when we could meet again. I'm not sure if I did the right thing, Miss Natasha. I just didn't want your parents to feel that their son was so close and yet so far away.
More tragic backstory? Or I mean, more tragedy to the backstory. Can't say it's alright yet since May is usually the start of typhoon season. Oh. I hope it will lose power and not be very strong. You always have rice for dinner. Do you have a favorite kind of rice?
Do you have the letters on you, Mr. Oswell? Let me take a look.
Of course, here. You can tell it's the young master's handwriting.
Natasha, how have you been? I hope you're doing well. I am, as I stated in my previous letter, envious of you. You always show unwavering kindness to your patients. I'm envious of your inherent compassion. I remember giving a speech on stage when I first started school, waving my arms and advocating for the development of blizzard immunity. In hindsight, I was a fool. During my final days of medical school, I became increasingly stubborn and withdrew into myself. Experiments and ambitions consumed my heart, and the patients who were supposed to be in my care were progressively ignored. Natasha, I dare not beg your forgiveness. I owe the people of the underworld too much already. I might have spent the rest of my life as a madman wallowing in my convictions if you hadn't agreed to my desire for exile. The cold has revealed to me my arrogance. How can a child who grew up in warmth ever begin to comprehend a cure to bitter cold? Thank you for giving me one last chance to discover the answer. Egg fried rice all the way. Ooh, that sounds so good. I hope so too. I kind of become paranoid when it rains because there was a time where our house had several leaks when it rains. Thankfully there's none now, but I still become nervous paranoid when it rains hard. That is a perfectly valid and logical response. I live in abandoned houses under broken roofs and continue my experiments. One step after another, I've made breakthroughs. I'm trembling, not because of the cold, but because I can feel I'm getting closer to the answer I seek. I'd become a pariah, unable to return to civilized society nor face my parents, but I didn't despair because I discovered the meaning of my existence. I had a feeling I was on the right track. The reagents I developed in the underworld have a serious flaw. The medication only addresses the issue of organ hypothermia and failure, and it will be caught in a never-ending vicious cycle of consumption and recovery. I should have changed the focus of my study a long time ago and tried to figure out how to raise the temperature of the organs and of the body in a controlled manner. Natasha, thank you very much. You helped me find the missing piece in the development of blizzard immunity. That doesn't sound good.
The cold has revealed to me my arrogance. How can a child who grew up in warmth ever begin to comprehend a cure to bitter cold? Vash didn't give up on his research into blizzard immunity, even after he left the city. I live in abandoned houses under broken roofs and continue my experiments. One step after another, I've made breakthroughs. I'm trembling, not because of the cold, but because I can feel I'm getting closer to the answer I seek. If what's in here is true, then Vash must have built a lab somewhere in the snow plains, and even made progress in his research. But how can that be?
He experimented on himself, clearly.
There'd be no point in him lying to me in the letters. Still, it's possible he may have gone completely insane before he started writing them. I need to leave the city to recover my brother's research data. Are you willing to come with me?
Yeah, of course.
Leave the city? You are taking too much risk, Miss Natasha.
I know, Mr. Oswell, but I have a hero with me. She saved the underworld. I'm sure she'll protect me, right?
Shouldn't there be more letters? Read the other ones.
Vash, it's been so many years. Are you still alone in the blizzard? Oh, ignore me. I'm just talking to myself. Let's go. It's time to face my past head on.
Please don't be a monster. Please don't be a monster.
Such harsh cold. It's hard to imagine anyone surviving in these conditions.
Kind of expecting him to be a monster.
Let's hurry up. We need to find any clues that Vash may have left behind before both of... Here, this looks
Whoops.
like lab equipment. Maybe Vash left it behind. Huh. Still, it's all just used test tubes, beakers, and other vessels. There's no sign of any sample reagents or lab notes for that matter.
Maybe things were too harsh here for record keeping.
Oh, I know my brother. He's meticulous when it comes to medical experiments. There's no way he wouldn't document his results. I want to go deeper into the snow plains. Can you press on any further?
Of course I can.
Gosh, the temperature keeps getting lower, but we can't give up halfway.
The Trailblaze protects me. It's you, Ed.
No need. Don't you underestimate the leader of Wildfire. Oh.
You are not dressed for the weather.
Let's press on then. This may not sound like me, but I hope that deity the architects worship can grant us some luck.
Oh, I suppose I went the backwards way of where they wanted me to go. I just had the urge to save my game, and it's not a game I can save.
Citizens? Outside the walls? Hey, you two! Stop right there!
That's a Silvermane guard. Is he yelling at us?
Yo, 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 yo.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten. No one can leave Belobog without authorization. Looks like we need to talk our way out of this.
See, they say that, and like they're not preventing anyone from leaving the city. Or we wouldn't have gotten out.
I can't say you sound suspicious, but I can't just take your word for it either.
Ooh, I wonder if I can recreate his shield in Tears of the Kingdom. Or at least one similar looking.
Captain, look at her necklace. Maybe she's telling the truth.
It's the same as Dr. Vash's.
You know, Dr. Vash? Oh dear.
My brother does wear an identical necklace. Do you know him?
Are you really his sister? Dr. Vash saved a lot of my soldiers.
Saved your soldiers?
Yes. Take a look at the guards patrolling outside the city. All of them are risking their lives. Aside from the monster-related casualties, we lose men to frostbite every year. But thanks to the medicine the doctor leaves us, my soldiers are able to withstand the cold. They can make camps in the snow plains as footholds for our patrols. If it weren't for the doctor, we would have long since frozen to death.
But if this medicine raises the internal temperature of the organs so that they can withstand the cold, does it mean they can never go back into the city? Because then they'd be too hot to live anywhere warm.
Medicine. Blizzard immunity.
We don't know. Dr. Vash is elusive. My squad only met him once, and he didn't seem like the talkative type. He leaves the medicine at specific locations, and our patrols go there to collect it. The medicine is extremely potent. A small vial could keep someone warm for a week.
Okay, so not a permanent thing.
Speaking of the doctor, it's been a long time since we last saw him. At least 2 or 3 years. I hope he's alive and well.
So he really did have a breakthrough in the snow plains. Oh, did the medicine have any side effects for you?
Side effects? Not that I know of. If there were a problem, it'd be that we couldn't go back to the city until the effect had worn off.
Okay. Valid concern.
Because the city would be too hot for us. We'd break a sweat just sitting idle.
Thanks for the information. We're planning to head deeper into the snow plains to find my brother.
Seems like you've made up your mind. I'd really like to send some of my men with you, but we can't leave our posts.
I think the sentry leader needs a name.
Here, take this medicine.
Oh,
If what you two told me is true, I'm sure you're more than capable of handling yourselves out there.
Thank you, Captain. We'll take it with us.
not like I'll take the medicine. We'll just take it with us. And I could take the lazy route and teleport. I am basically taking the lazy thing and not fighting anything. Aha, your logic can't catch me. Hello, brother. At least I'm assuming this is brother.
Hold on. That's a big guy over there.
I should have grabbed the firebug.
Did you see that? There's something on the monster's back. Oh, the blizzard immunity. Shall we drink it? It's your call.
Oh. Ghosting. Hi, Ghost. How you doing? Just came back from my mom's birthday lunch. Ooh. Happy birthday to your mom. Hello. Bit late to tell her that, but I'm sure you can pass along the sentiment. Did you have a good time? Let's trust the brother and drink it. What's the worst that could happen? The monster's not attacking me. Let me give.
I'm ready. Doctor's got your back.
Yeah, I had fried shrimp. Ooh, fried shrimp is so tasty.
Can you feel it? It seems like Vash's medicine is working.
How are you? Is it going well? Yep, so far pretty well.
Time for a shot.
I should have brought the fire character.
Stay back, Clara.
You can't run! to protect everyone too.
And so many characters in this game have tragic backstories, or just random tragic side quests, so
I need to be brave.
Annihilate.
we're exploring those today.
As you command. As you command.
This particular quest is a follow-up to a previous
Naughty child. Nap time.
character for a previous quest for this character, Natasha.
Try that again.
Stay back, Clara.
You can't run. I want to protect everyone too. Help me, Mr. Sparrow.
Pretty good crowd today. Keep up.
My turn.
And the little girl in red is the one I consider my adopted daughter.
Try that again.
She is precious and must be protected.
Justin, just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Thanks. I'll never forget you.
As you command.
You can't run.
Ready to lose yourself? You can fight it or rock with it.
I'm not afraid of you.
Hide.
This song's for you. Turn it up.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
That hurts. Try that again. I want to protect everyone too. Help me, Mr. Sparrow.
Eliminating threat.
Pretty good crowd today.
Slow fight, but I'm not taking too much damage.
Ready to jam.
You can't run.
Ready to lose yourself? You can fight it or rock with it.
Are you all right? As you command.
Hey, try that again.
This song's for you.
This game has a lot of good voice acting. So a lot of time I'll just be quiet if characters are talking so I can hear the voices. There's only like, so far one voice that I found really annoying that I had to mute the language. Mute all voice, and that was a little robot called Findy.
Keep up.
Naughty child. Nap time.
I think just very frequently kept repeating its catchphrase.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Thanks a lot.
This song's for you.
I just realized Serval's hit points is like half of my healers and 400 behind my tank.
Turn it up.
Time for a shot.
Ready to lose yourself? You can fight it.
I wonder why she was taking so much damage, because she has so few hit points.
It's done. That was my first time seeing you in battle. You've got some moves, don't you? No wonder you were able to save the underworld.
Now this makes me think that this side quest popped up before I went to fight Mr. Svarog, because supposedly she joined me in battle. I mean, she didn't actually do anything, but she just showed up.
Let's have a look over there. My gut tells me we should find something connected to Vash. These are records of his experiments.
Ah, rich people.
It's Vash's handwriting. This must be the location of his final lab. Come have a look. His last experiment was nearly 2 years ago? What happened after that? But his notes seem to suggest he was working to improve blizzard immunity.
I'm partly surprised, partly not that he survived long enough to do any experiments.
Where are you? What happened?
I was just thinking, which option would be more sad for the characters, and that's the one that will happen. Let's call it a day nat. He succeed. At least on he has He gave medicine that lasts at least a week.
Sorry. I needed to take a moment. After seeing the letters Mr. Oswald kept for me, I was hoping things might have ended differently. I shouldn't have asked you to come with me to such a dangerous place.
You totally would not have survived this without us.
I do. I can't forgive him for what he's done. Nor can I say I don't miss him. Maybe I should feel glad. The medicine might not have been what he wanted it to be, but it came to something. Maybe he found some inner peace.
Too bad his victims won't ever share that peace. People will remember Dr. Vosh.
They'll remember him as a murderer, as someone whose evil experiments brought great harm to the innocent. Vash doesn't deserve to be remembered as a doctor. I know that very well. But maybe this blizzard immunity can now bring benefit to others, even if it was made by a monster.
Yeah, he sent her a letter saying, "Thanks for exiling me to the snow. It gave me the breakthrough I needed." How could someone who grew up in a warm city ever understand how cold it is outside?
Human beings really are conflicted life forms. I'll take his records and data with me and continue what he started. One day the world will see a perfect blizzard immunity. Before we leave, I'd like to ask for another favor. The last one, I promise.
It's fine, you can ask more favors. Be friends now. So I don't know whether or not I think that monster was the brother or not. A very good chance it was.
That should do. Hope it can withstand the snow.
You ought to put an epithet on the headstone.
You're right. Let me think. Here lies Vash, my brother.
Nice and simple.
That'll do. Thank you for helping me. I feel like a great weight has been lifted. So long, brother. Hope you don't forget Dad's teaching. A doctor does not get to choose his or her patient, my children. Remember, never say no to those who come to you for help. Never.
Aw, her dad was such a good person. Slices of life before the furnace.